After you watched the film, Levi, we've talked about in the last few weeks, he struggled a bit. What have you thought of how that's gone over there for him?
Yeah, I mean he's learning on the job. There's certainly he's done some really good things, Sal. He has, and he's obviously working through some things these past couple of weeks, and I'm expecting him to continue to work through those things in a professional manner like he has to this point.
Have you thought at all about giving Kevin a shot over there, or maybe splitting the reps like you have in other positions?
Yeah, we talk about a lot of things. From week to week. So, we look at every position and try and put our best players out there.
Sean, where's the balance of people always asking from the outside world, Devin get more involved, while consciously trying to have him involved because he's a dynamic playmaker, but not force-feeding it to the point where it just isn't necessarily what the defense is giving?
Right. Yeah, no, it's a blend. It's whatever it takes to win. That's what we try and do, whatever it takes to win, understanding and trying to put our best players in positions of strength. That's been, you've heard that before, and I know it sounds like a broken record, but that's what we believe in, and that's what we've got to do and continue to do. In this case, whether it's Devin or any other player, continue to put our players in position to be successful.
Are there ever some guys, we heard going into last week's game out of Cleveland, they wanted to force-feed Odell Beckham because they didn't feel he was getting enough opportunities. Are there certain players that you will maybe push the issue a little bit more with to make sure that they're more involved than others?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of, again, the being, to me, responsible as a play caller, as a coordinator, as a head coach, of knowing who our weapons are and then putting them in position to get the football. But we don't ever do that at the expense of trying to win football games. We don't ever say we're going to force feed this guy and put that ahead of the team. The team is and will remain number one.
Do you feel, though, that there seems to be an impression that maybe too much is being placed on Josh's shoulders and his arm to win games, especially when he makes 41 attempts in a close game this past weekend? Do you feel that there's too much of a burden being placed on Josh to win games?
Number one, we're confident in Josh. So whether it's Josh or any other player in this case, whatever their job is, they've got to execute their job. The second part of that, to your point and to your question, John, is we've got to continue to bring Josh along, but also understand that he's just in his second year, quite honestly. So it's a blend of how do we grow, how do we evolve, how do we develop at the right pace.
One issue is the deep passes, and Brian Dable said the receivers are working hard to win their one-on-ones on deep passes. How much is that a concern with you that Josh just hasn't been able to complete that and give you those chunk plays?
Yeah, I mean it's something he's done before. We just haven't executed it this year. So when you look back at last year, we hit those, and where we've seen Josh improve is this short intermediate game, and so we continue to grow, and that's what Josh is committed to. That he works hard at his job, and so do we in terms of trying to continue to execute at a higher level. In this case, on those deep balls.
Are you satisfied, John, with where he's at this stage of his career?
I think the word satisfied is, I don't think that's a word we use here, honestly. If we do, it's not very often, So that's not a winning type mindset. Whether it's a team or an individual player, myself in this case, we don't use that word. That's not a word winners often use. So.
Going back to Josh and the deep ball, I know he said, I think it was last week, that he's afraid to underthrow his receivers and have it be intercepted. I know we've seen this maybe in other sports where guys just kind of get the yips, if you will. Does he kind of have the yips with the deep ball and fear of the deep ball?
I think he's trying to make adjustments. I really believe that. Early part of the year, we turned the ball over some, and so he's trying to make adjustments to his game. And then listen, again, as you guys know, right? You learn through experiences. You learn through scars, and every scar has a story. And so you want to continue to grow and build off of those stories. And so never wanting to make an overcorrection in this case, to your point. And so we're working on finding that sweet spot, and so we'll continue to work hard at it.
Through his first 20 starts, Josh's passing numbers are virtually identical to Tyrod Taylor's in his last 20 starts here. You moved away from Taylor to upgrade your passing game. So is that enough of an upgrade? Is it something that you're waiting for the next 20 to see for that to happen?
Yeah, Jerry, I'm never going to compare, or I try and stay away from comparing two players. I know they played the same position. Both players are different players. A lot of respect for Tyrod. The player I'm most concerned with right now is Josh Allen in terms of this question. So, Josh is focused on working and improving, and it's important that we continue to improve around him as well. And he takes great ownership, great accountability in that. And as we go offensively, it's important that we work on scoring points. That's the name of the game. Score points, give yourself a chance to win.
Hey, Sean, you've, obviously with 6 wins, you've had leads, a good chunk of this season. Have you been satisfied with the run-pass ratio that Brian has been calling? It seems like your history has been, it seems like you like to run the ball, and you're not running the ball, I don't think nearly as much as you had.
Yeah, I mean, again, it comes down to winning games, Sal. So we want to win games. If we've got to throw it 100 times to win that game, if we got to run the ball and crawl over the goal line 100 times to win that game, that's what I want us to do. I want us to identify that going into the game and go and make sure we go in there with objectives of what we want to get done. And that's what Brian's job is, to do that, and my job as well. So we've got to continue to put our players in position and then listen to the game as the game trends throughout the game.
Last time you played the Dolphins, everybody said they're a desperate team. Now they're a team that's on a roll. But what have you learned from them? What did you learn from them? And then watching their growth over the last couple of weeks on film.
Yeah, I mean, we said it just a couple of weeks ago when we played them. They were. We felt like a better team than what their record indicated, and that's been proven. They've now, since in the last 3 games, they were up 14-0 on Pittsburgh, and then they won the remaining 2 games. So what I said then is what I still believe now, and it's come to fruition. This is a good football team. They've got good quarterback play going on right now, and they're playing hard, and they're disciplined. They don't beat themselves. So. We've got to have a good week of practice, as I always say, and make sure that we continue to grow as a football team.
Coach, with respect to overall execution on offense, in your experience, is there value or merit in paring things down to promote better execution going forward?
Yeah, I mean, there's things that we can do as coaches, whether it's paring it down, whether it's simplifying, whether it's working on more fundamentals and techniques. There's ways that, being around the league 20-some years, that you can do some of that. We've got to find a higher level of execution in all 3 phases, really.
Are you frustrated with that success rate of your offense, or where's your level of frustration with it?
What success rate?
The success rate of your offense, or the failure of it to succeed. Are you
What's-
frustrated with it?
What's the success rate? I'm not sure. Is there a number you're referencing?
Just points per game and just the quality of your offense. Are you frustrated with it?
Well, give me a more specific. I need more specific. I mean, you're throwing am I concerned with, am I frustrated with the success of our offense?
Yeah. I mean, they're 25th in points per game. Is that enough? Or where is the level of frustration? I guess it's from.
Move the ball, score points. If we don't do that, I'm frustrated. Simply put.